Okay, hi guys. So I had what I believe was a confirmation of my vision that I had in August. Um, I put up the video a couple of days ago about what I saw in the vision, which was part of Revelations, which states the third angel sounded his trumpet, and a great star, blazing like a torch, fell from the sky on a third of the rivers and on the springs of the water, resembling that of a meteor. Anyway, hold on a sec. Anyway, so I put that video up yesterday, and I really felt like it was something that God was pushing me to do, to share it with you guys. And afterwards I knew it was something that I felt I needed to do, but I thought to myself, like, I hope everything I'm saying and everything I'm putting out there is from God and not from me, or because it wasn't a dream, so you could say, well, maybe it was just your imagination, maybe you were just having a dream, even though it was so vivid and I'd never read the Bible before or Revelations to know a dream of such detail like that completely matched up to a revelation in the future. So, there was a part of me that thought to myself, well, I hope that if I'm putting that sort of message out there of a vision, I sure as well hope that it's from God, because I don't want to make anyone feel uneasy if it's not from God. I don't want to be putting these warnings out there if it's not from God, which I believe it is. Now, today, I got what I call confirmation from God. So, I went to Wimbledon and I was with my friends, I was buying a couple of Bibles for my friends round the corner. So I made it my plan to go to Wimbledon and to get a couple of Bibles from W.H. Smith's. Now, I was on my way to the bus stop, got to the bus stop, and I was waiting for the 164 to go home. So I'm there with my daughter, and she's in the buggy, and behind me there's this guy who's suddenly there. He didn't just appear there. I think I saw him walk up from behind me, but I wasn't really paying attention. And so he's there, and out of nowhere he's right behind me, and he says to me, where I was waiting at the bus stop, it's like a bus shelter, and above it is a countdown to when the next bus is coming. So it's a 164 due in 4 minutes, which is what my one said actually. Anyway, so he came out and said this, so you have to listen carefully to everything that I'm about to say, because it kind of went in a pattern. So he stood there and he said, Jew. He goes, it's funny, isn't it, how the English language can have two different types of meanings. So Jew, like dew when the bus is coming, or dew, like dew on a rain grass. I was like, yeah, you're right, it is. So that got my attention straight away, because he didn't really talk like someone that you'd speak to every day, or just about that. It was quite random and out there. And so I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And he seemed friendly, so it was fine. And the bus came, and we got on it. Now, bearing in mind, he's about 65, 70 years old, had a walking stick as well. And we got on the bus, and where I put the buggy in with Sienna, I'm there. And he chose to stand in that particular bit where you have to stand up. And he's got a stick, so I thought to myself, surely he's going to want to sit down, but no, he made a point to stand there and talk to me. And so as we're standing there, I couldn't believe some of the things that I heard him say. But I think the point was that when I was trying to engage in conversation with him, he didn't really answer me. He just moved on to the next subject, which bears in mind to me that he was delivering a message. So we get on the bus and we're standing there, and he goes, he's just smiling, and we're getting on the bus, and the bus is journeying, And so he was talking about, this is how he started, he goes, isn't it funny that yesterday was 11/11/11, and how that's never going to happen again in the face of history on this planet? So I was like, yeah, you're right. I actually I saw someone else put a status up about it, and I thought, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Then he went on to talk about Remembrance Day, and how it's very important to respect when someone dies for you. Now, thinking about that now, that would probably bring me to think about Jesus. And I actually responded and said to him, yeah, I mean, there's no greater friend than a friend that lays down his life for another of his friends. But he moved on straight to the next part of that conversation, which was the bit where my ears went boom, and said to me, would it be funny, if not funny, but he said, what did he say? He said, wouldn't it be strange if a great rock fell from heaven, from the sky, boom, and hit the earth? And just before I could even respond to what he was saying, he changed the subject straight away. And I was like, but still, I was on the bus, there was lots of people, I was just going with it at this point. So I was like, okay, right. And I was going to ask him, what did you mean by that? But before I could, he went on to the next subject, which was, I used to be a postman, and no matter what the weather, so within that revelation, the weather, it was stormy, it was brewing, this rock hit the seas. Whatever the weather, I would always deliver that message. I was like, okay. So it was just random things out there and just putting it together. The fact that he mentioned rock brings me to think of the meteor as well that hits the earth, that in Revelations, and how he put it so quickly in a mid-conversation and change the subject. It was like, obviously it's not something you want to be saying out there on a bus, but I was meant to hear it. And that alone I felt was confirmation. And so after he talks about the message that's being delivered, no matter what the weather, he'll always deliver that message, that letter, that message, delivering the message to me perhaps. He ended this with standing there, kind of looking at me and kind of just saying patience, patience, patience. It's good to have patience. So that could have well been something that I need to improve on, but it may be just a message in general, patience. And with that, my stop came and I got off. I felt like my brain was going to come out of my ears, but with that, I kind of, was speaking to God in my mind, and once again I feel urged to record this video to let you know that I feel that was confirmation of the vision that I received in August, that only put up a couple of days ago, and God confirmed that was from him. So there you are, and have a pleasant evening, and if you have any questions then just message. Thanks.